Hey, welcome to your first nutritional task that I have for you throughout this 12-week Weight Loss for Life program. I just want to give you a little quick analogy. If you're a coffee drinker or you've drunk coffee before, you drink it consistently. Effectively, what happens is we become desensitized to the caffeine in the coffee. If you was to take a break, let's say a month or 6 weeks or 2 months, and then you was to have another cup of coffee, what do you think that would do to you? Exactly, it would give you a bit of a buzz because you haven't been used to that buzz of caffeine on a consistent basis like you would have before. So I'm going to talk to you today about insulin release, what it does, and how it affects our body. Okay, so I've drawn a little graph here. Okay, so on this side we're gonna put our blood sugar, and on the bottom we're gonna put time. So when we eat carbohydrates, fats, proteins, anything, effectively what happens is the pancreas fires up, and we start to release insulin. Once the insulin's released, it basically goes out into the body and grabs hold of some of the blood sugar and helps to bring our blood sugar levels back down again. So let's just say here we eat a nice big breakfast, okay? Our blood sugar levels rise, okay, and the insulin comes out from the pancreas, grabs hold of that blood sugar, yeah, and it helps to bring it back down again. Okay, so let's say that we eat consistently throughout the day, and we go to our lunch and our blood sugar raises. Again, it's going to raise a little bit higher, okay, and then our insulin comes out. All right, the same amount of insulin we become less sensitive to it. Okay, so our blood sugar may only come down to here. Okay, if we keep repeating this process, okay, our blood sugar will raise higher and higher throughout. Okay, now this isn't good because over time, if our blood sugar rises, then effectively what's got to happen is our insulin has to start matching it. Okay, this is really problematic because this is going to emulate, someone who has maybe type 2 diabetes, who has little insulin sensitivity whatsoever. A common misconception for a lot of people could be to eat less, and this will help dispel this problem. Okay, but if we're ingesting anything, then this is going to fire at the pancreas and this is going to start to release insulin on a regular basis, and therefore we're going to get that lack of sensitivity that we really need. Okay, so a really good way to try and battle this is to, just like the coffee, just in the analogy that I gave before, is that if we give our pancreas a rest, if we give our insulin levels a rest, then the next time we eat, we will become more sensitive to it. We won't have to release as much insulin, and we can grab hold of all of those nutrients and do what the body is supposed to do with them. And this is where intermittent fasting comes in. So IF is a method that a lot of people use to give their pancreas that rest from that insulin secretion, so that when we get it, it's going to be as sensitive as it can be, and we're going to make use of it. So a real common way to do that would be, let's say, for like an 18-6, and this is what we're going to go into further into the program, and obviously into this week. So an 18-6 would be that we don't eat for 18 hours a day, and then we consume all of our calories within a 6-hour window. So within the 6-hour window, I want you to eat a meal at 12, a snack at 3, and a meal at 6. Now, these are going to be the only 3 times that we're going to eat during that day. So with all of the stuff that I've sent you, this is where I've left it nice and open. This is where the flexibility in the program comes. You can pick 2 of the main meals, 1 lunch, 1 dinner, and 1 of the snacks, and that's going to be your food on a fasting day, okay? Bear in mind, we're not going to be fasting every single day. We're going to start on 4 days a week, and then as the program progresses, we may or have to pull back or push forward depending on you as an individual. But we'll gauge that as we go with the results that we're finding along the way. So from here, what I'd like you to do is take a look at all of the meal plans that I've given you, and I want you to plan out your meals for the week. I want you to know which days you're fasting, which days you're not, and then obviously on our tracker is where we're going to be able to track our fasted days and our meals that we're having on the way back into breaking fast as well. However, if you're not on a fasting day, then this is where we can have a full day of food. This is where we reset, it's where we recharge, and we go back into the fasting days fully fueled and recharged and ready to go. So if you'd like to follow the next steps below, and I'll see you in the next video.